Crack open the cover of Power Slam issue 6, and you don't just enter the wrestling world, you fall into a different dimension. One where sarcasm is currency, where kayfabe is dissected with surgical precision, and where the writers don't just observe the business, they torch it, praise it, and rebuild it from the ruins in one sentence. From the very first page, you're greeted not with fluff or filler, but with razor-sharp wit, reader-chosen pin-ups, and the promise of something far more cerebral than your average American program guide. The featured centerpiece? Razor Ramon, oozing machismo and framed in full glossy glory. But that's just the appetizer. The real feast lies in the pages that follow. Enter the PS50, Power Slam's audacious attempt to rank the top 50 male wrestlers in the world, complete with commentary that swings between analytical brilliance and dry British mockery. Names are praised, buried, reassessed, and occasionally canonized in ways that force you to question everything you thought you knew about the pecking order of 95. Don't agree with the placements? Good. You're supposed to argue. You're supposed to yell at the page. That's the point. Then we dive headfirst into Beauty vs. the Beast, a feature on the legendary clash between Alundra Blayze and Bull Nakano, presented not as a novelty, but as a legitimate, hard-hitting rivalry between two in-ring generals. Power Slam doesn't pander, it elevates. It dissects Nakano's fury and Blayze's finesse with the same seriousness as Flair versus Steamboat. This isn't the division WWF barely promoted. This is real wrestling storytelling, told with reverence and fire. But the emotional gut punch, that comes in the farewell letter titled Goodbye Rick, a tear-streaked send-off to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, who quietly exited the ring after a devastating back injury. No pomp, no final match, just a disappearing act for one of the greatest pure babyfaces to ever lace up boots. The magazine handles it with awe and grace. They don't just thank him, they canonize him. They remind you that the industry, in all its glitz and sleaze, once had a soul named Steamboat. Then comes the venom. Stateside Menace and shortly at Wayne Manor return, injecting pure, uncut British sarcasm into every crevice of American booking stupidity. One moment they're mocking Bob Backlund's heel turn, which Power Slam brilliantly reframes as genius-level satire on sports entertainment. The next moment, they're skewering Vince McMahon's decision-making as if lampooning a Shakespearean tragedy. These pieces are more than snark. They're cultural counterpoints to the wrestling world's excesses. They're your reminder that Power Slam wasn't playing the same game as WWF Magazine or Inside Wrestling. They were writing with a razor and smiling while they cut. And then, like a pipe bomb in magazine form, you hit the interview with a still rising but already bitter, stunning Steve Austin. This is not yet stone cold, but he's close, very close. His words drip with frustration over WCW's inability to capitalize on his momentum. He buries the way they split up the Hollywood Blondes. He questions the logic behind the U.S. title booking. He trashes their creative vision without ever shouting. It's the calm before the storm, and Power Slam captures it perfectly. You don't need hindsight to know he's going to explode. It's written on the page like prophecy. Elsewhere, there's backstage fallout from WWF's latest triple threat drama involving Diesel, Bret Hart, and Bob Backlund, a chaotic carousel of storytelling that Power Slam pokes at with a long stick. They treat the title scene like a bad sitcom, one with violence, tears, and presidential trivia. They don't just review events, they provide commentary laced with enough venom to flatten a territory. By the time you hit the final stretch of the issue, you've been spun through a kaleidoscope of coverage. Japanese dominance, ECW chaos, British indies, mainstream hypocrisy, and the bizarre creative decisions that made 95 one of wrestling's weirdest years. Through it all, Power Slam never blinks, never backs down, never dumbs it down. They talk to the audience like adults, slice through PR fluff like a guillotine, and take genuine joy in being the smartest publication in the room. So what is Power Slam issue 6? It's not a magazine, it's a declaration, a sledgehammer to mediocrity, a standing ovation for the pure, the weird, the misunderstood. It's Razor Ramon posing like a movie star. It's Ricky Steamboat fading into the shadows. It's Bob Backlund going full maniac and demanding you name every U.S. president before shaking his hand. It's Steve Austin on the verge of becoming a legend and no one listening except Power Slam. And most of all, It's a time capsule sealed with sarcasm, truth, and the blunt force of editorial honesty. If you were a wrestling fan in 1995, Power Slam didn't just speak to you, it spoke for you.